Hey there, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something I think we've all been through, but maybe couldn't quite put our finger on. We're talking about dealing with those really difficult personalities, the kinds of people who can quietly, almost invisibly, turn your world upside down. Let's get right into it.
Just think about that for a second. You hang up the phone or you walk away from a conversation, and instead of feeling energized or even neutral, you just feel tired, drained, maybe even a little confused or bad about yourself, but you can't for the life of you figure out exactly what just happened. And this is so important to hear. It is not you, it's not your fault. You might be dealing with what we call a toxic personality. And these behaviors are often super subtle, right? They can come wrapped in a smile or what sounds like a kind word, and that's exactly why it's so confusing. You're not crazy, you're not imagining things, and we're about to break down exactly what might be going on.
Okay, so let's jump into our very first category, the manipulators. Now, as you can probably guess, these are the folks who are absolute pros at twisting reality to get what they want, and usually, it's at your expense.
This first one is a big one, folks. The gaslighter. This is the person who has this uncanny ability to make you question everything. Your own memory, your own feelings, sometimes even your own sanity. You know in your gut that something's off, but they are just masters at spinning it so it seems like you're the problem.
You know what's so powerful here is seeing it side by side. Look, if you say, hey, what you did hurt my feelings, a healthy person might say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. But a gaslighter, they'll hit you with, you're just being too sensitive, or come on, I was obviously joking. See how they do that? They completely flip the script and make your totally valid feelings sound like an overreaction. And listen, this isn't just annoying, it's genuinely damaging to your mental health. When this happens over and over, that self-doubt starts to creep in and take root. You stop trusting your own instincts. You start blaming yourself for things that were never ever your fault to begin with.
All right, next on our list, the pretenders. These are the ones who seem like your number one fan, right? Always there with a big smile, always cheering you on. But behind that friendly mask, well, let's just say they're not exactly rooting for you.
Oof, the sting from this kind of betrayal is just awful. You open up, you share something personal, and the next thing you know, your secrets are the hot new topic of conversation. An experience like that can really make you put up walls, making it so much harder to trust the next person, and leaving you feeling pretty alone. So now let's move on to our next group, the energy drainers. And the name says it all. These are the people who, after you spend any time with them, leave you feeling like you just ran a marathon you didn't even sign up for, completely wiped out.
And first up, we have the drama masters. Oh, you know this person. For them, every tiny issue is a five-alarm fire. Every small disagreement is a massive betrayal. Their life is basically a soap opera, and they're always trying to pull you into the plot.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's a total catch-22. If you just stand by and watch, you're probably going to get caught in the fallout. But if you try to step in and help, whoosh, you get sucked right into the tornado, and it only makes things worse and drains you even more. And then we have the energy vampires. These folks aren't necessarily stirring up drama, but boy, do they have a constant stream of complaints. You start out wanting to be a good friend and listen, but you soon realize you've become their personal dumping ground for every single negative thought and worry they have.
And here's the thing, they're not looking for answers. They just want a place to vent. And after every single one of those sessions, you walk away feeling heavy, stressed out, and totally unmotivated. Their negativity is contagious, and it can start to cast a shadow over your own life.
So for our last category, we have the self-absorbed. These are the individuals who walk through the world convinced that they are the star of the movie, and the rest of us are just extras.
First in this group, the critics without solutions. These are the people who are so quick to poke holes in your new idea, your dream, your project. But here's the difference between them and someone giving helpful advice. Their comments aren't meant to build you up. They're only meant to tear you down.
Have you ever heard something like that? It's that laugh, that dismissive wave of the hand. It just instantly sucks all the excitement out of you. They're not helping you see a blind spot. They're just yanking the emergency brake on your passion. And when you hear that kind of thing again and again, it really starts to sink in. It chips away at your confidence until you start to second-guess yourself. Their negativity can become this invisible wall that stops you from ever getting where you want to go. Next up, the classic selfish person.
In every interaction, it's all about them. They'll talk at you for an hour about their problems, but the second you need to talk, suddenly they're so busy. It's a relationship where you do all the giving and they do all the taking.
A connection with them really isn't a two-way street. It's more like a dead end for your emotions. You give and get absolutely nothing in return. And slowly but surely you start to feel totally unimportant, like you're fading away, because your needs are always taking a back seat to theirs. And finally, our last profile, the kings of empty promises. Oh, they talk a great game. They promise you the world, they promise to help, they promise they'll be there. It sounds amazing. But when push comes to shove and you actually need them to follow through, poof, they vanish.
And this is more than just a letdown. It can actively sabotage your life. You might put your own plans on pause waiting for them to come through on their promise. But that help never comes, and you're just left stuck, having wasted valuable time and energy that you'll never get back.
So, okay, we've identified all these difficult people, now what? What do you actually do? Well, it boils down to these 4 really crucial steps. First, you've got to see the pattern for what it is. Second, you have to trust your gut when it's screaming at you that something's wrong. Third, and this is the hardest but most important, create some distance. And finally, you have to actively take back your peace.
I really want you to let that sink in for a minute. Choosing to step back, to put up a boundary, to remove yourself from a situation that's hurting you, that is not weakness. That is an incredible act of courage. It's you having the strength to choose your own well-being and save yourself.
And that's our look at these 7 challenging personalities. At the end of the day, learning to protect your own peace is one of the most valuable skills you can have. If this explainer helped you put a name to something you've been feeling, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, give this a like, and maybe share your own experiences in the comments. It really does help our whole community learn and grow. Thanks so much for watching.